Joe Walker here, Yonah Mountain Farms. It is Tuesday, May 6th, about 4 o'clock. I'm here at the Brooder, so Holly should be back any minute now to with the next batch of chicks. So I got videos posted of the batch we currently have out on pasture, which is right out there under those white shelters. So we're getting the brooder ready. Next batch should be here any minute. I'm definitely running behind. This right here is the shavings out of from the last batch, so they were in there about 3 weeks. Honestly, I'd have to go back and look and see exactly how many bags of shavings that is, but anyhow, so we're starting a fresh compost pile there. This is our first year on this property running meat birds. Our very first lease, we actually, this shipping container was over there, and this is only our second season using it. So first season we used it at our first lease. This season we're using it over here, and just want to give you guys a rundown of it real quick, show you what we did, how we did it. So basically, this is a 20-foot shipping container. It was pretty simple to just take a grinder and cut out the windows. These were basically the cheapest windows I could find from at Home Depot. I just wanted something with a screen on it that would slide. Just so took the grinder, cut that out. Here, we'll walk around the outside first. But yeah, I had to cut a few holes. So basically I had to cut that hole for this window. I had to cut a hole for this exhaust fan. This is a thermostatically controlled exhaust fan that come off of Amazon. Cut a little hole here for water and power to run into. And you see we just caulked and put some rubber hose there to protect the wiring. This is actually powered from an extension cord running to the barn. Here's my second window. The shipping container was dented right here, so just to fill in the gap to keep rats out or whatnot, I put steel wool on the inside and then used the great stuff for actually thinking of painting this thing at one point in time, and you know, cutting this out and just painting it, putting farm name on it would be cool. But anyway, so that's window number 2, and that's it. That's all the cutting we did. So we're about to get these shavings in here, and we'll talk about these feeders that we use. And actually we just use when they're first babies, you know, just picking them up, we just use these you know, typical waters. We got about 3 different kind right there. But so inside the brooder, what we do is we put down this heavy-duty agricultural tarp from Tractor Supply, and I roll up some 2x material in there and then fasten it with deck screws, basically just to pinch the tarp, and the tarp extends back, and that way, and then I put a piece of plywood actually right here, to kind of make like a sally port. So that piece of plywood will run just inside of these boards, just right into the grooves in the wall, and then that kind of gives me a little sally port to open up and step over the wall, have room to open the door, step over the wall, put down shavings, fill feeders, waters, all that good stuff. So inside, basically, I promise I don't try to make this as janky as possible, but that's just kind of how things end up. So I just use high tensile going into the you know, the tie downs that are in the container. I got high tensile strung up, and then a mix of chains, baling twine, these black strings that come with the Premier 1 netting. But yeah, I got the extension cord running to the 3-way. This is the info for the fan. So basically that's, you can control the fan speed and the temp at which it cuts on. So, and that's the on off. So right now I got it set really low. It fires up. So then I can increase this. Okay, so we hit about 75 before it cut off. So basically, if it gets any warmer than that, it'll cut on. So that runs there. Then we have this is running all our heat lamps. So this is just the power strip. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 heat lamps for 500 Cornish cross, and those are all plugged in on this that I'm pretty sure I got off of Amazon too. It's the Ink Bird, and so and here's the wire, the thermostat running down to the tip here, and we hang that pretty much at ground level. And then so that since this is the first day, what I'm going to do is set this to let's see, hold on. Yeah, we're going to set this to 95 basically. Make sure my power strip is on. Okay, so those cut on because it's below 95 in here, so I think I got one bulb out, maybe 2 bulbs out. So I'm gonna replace these bulbs, get the shavings in here, hopefully before Holly gets back with the chicks. But yeah, so the tarp is so we can hook the chain up and be able to just drag the shavings out, the brooder shavings out between batches and get them over to the compost pile. So yeah, those birds that have been in my previous videos, this is how they started. And we'll be getting the chicks here in a few minutes and try to get some footage of that. Thanks.